The stadium is silent. 80,000 people hold their breath. The air is thick with tension, the kind that only exists when history is about to be written. On one side of the net stands a seasoned Italian warrior, a player who has walked these grounds before, who has felt the weight of a Wimbledon final and knows exactly what it takes to reach the second week of a Grand Slam. On the other side stands a 21-year-old from the Philippines, a girl who grew up training on painted-over basketball courts in Quezon City, who wore ruffled socks and light-up shoes to practice, who dared to dream of a moment exactly like this. The scoreboard reads 4-6, 6-4, 3-3 in the deciding set. The match is hanging by a thread. Every point feels like a lifetime. And the question on everyone's mind is simple. Can she handle it? Can Alexandra Eala, with a nation of 110 million people watching her every move, with the weight of history on her shoulders, with everything she has ever worked for on the line, find the courage to win? This is the moment that defines careers. This is the moment that separates legends from the rest. And this is the story of the biggest match of Alex Eala's life. To understand what this moment means to Alexandra Eala, you have to go back to the beginning. To a little girl in the Philippines who had no grass courts, no tennis tradition, and no roadmap to success. Eala was introduced to tennis by her grandfather, who was her first coach and a constant presence in her life. From the age of 3.5, Eala trained on the hard courts of Quezon City, often on painted-over basketball courts that were the only option available. I was coached by my grandfather for the first 10 years of my career. From 3.5 to 13, it was him, and I was training every day with my brother, she recalled. Her grandfather, who had also coached her older cousins, instilled in her a love for the game and a work ethic that has defined her career. Eala's big break came when she won Les Petits as a prestigious under-14 tournament in France at the age of 12. The victory caught the attention of the Rafa Nadal Academy, which reached out to her and offered a scholarship. I went with my dad. We were just there, and we won it, and Rafa Nadal Academy reached out to me. So that was a big thing. Her rise to prominence was gradual but relentless. In 2025, at just 19 years old, she made her breakthrough at the Miami Open, defeating 3 Grand Slam champions and reaching the semifinals. The win that truly announced her arrival was a stunning 6-2, 7-5 victory over Iga Swiatek, the world number 2 and a 6-time Grand Slam champion. It was a moment that shocked the tennis world and put Eala on the map. I don't know how to describe it, she said after that victory. It's a dream come true. That dream has only grown bigger since then. She has now become a top 30 player, the highest-ranked Filipino in tennis history, and a national hero in a country that had never had a tennis star like her. Eala's journey to the biggest match of her career was paved with victories that seemed impossible just months earlier. The 2026 grass court season was a revelation. She won the Birmingham Open, her second WTA 125 title, and reached the Eastbourne final, establishing herself as a genuine force on the surface. But it was her performances in Berlin that truly announced her arrival as a contender at the highest level. There, Eala defeated 3 top 10 opponents, including Elena Rybakina, the 2022 Wimbledon champion, and Elena Svitolina, a former world number 3. I'm not satisfied, she said after those victories. I take it round by round. The grass court season gave Eala the confidence and momentum she needed heading into Wimbledon. She entered the tournament as the 29th seed, making history as the first Filipino seed in a Grand Slam. The pressure was immense, but Eala embraced it. Pressure is part of my job, she had said earlier in the year. Like Billie Jean King says, pressure is a privilege and I'm learning how to handle it in my own ways. She had learned to manage the expectations that came with her rising fame, and she was determined to prove that she belonged on the biggest stage. Her run at Wimbledon was nothing short of spectacular. She defeated Renata Zarazua in the first round, then came back from a set down to beat Maya Joint, the same player who had defeated Serena Williams in the first round. It sounds super impactful, she said after that victory. It's an amazing thing for me to be able to do that for my country, but I guess it's also very emotional every time I'm able to pass a new step or break new ground, just because it's also personal goals and personal achievements. With every victory, Eala was making history, and a nation was watching her every move with bated breath. Then came the match that changed everything. In the third round, Eala faced Iga Swiatek, the defending champion, the world number 3, and the woman who had handed Eala her graduation diploma from the Rafa Nadal Academy 3 years earlier. It was a match that seemed destined for a routine Swiatek victory, but Eala had other plans entirely. The opening set was a marathon, lasting 84 minutes and featuring some of the most intense tennis seen at Wimbledon in years. Eala saved 2 set points in a nail-biting tiebreak that went 11-9, showing a composure that belied her age and experience. Alexandra was more brave in important moments, Swiatek admitted after the match. It was a quality that would define the match and Eala's career. The second set was a masterclass in controlled aggression. Eala's powerful baseline shots rattled Swiatek early in the clash, and she earned a double break to go 3-0 up. Swiatek, visibly frustrated, was unable to cope with Eala's intensity and precision. The final point was fittingly a long forehand from the frustrated Pole, and Eala collapsed on the grass in tears, overwhelmed by the magnitude of her achievement. She had done what no Filipino player had ever done before. She had reached the 4th round of a Grand Slam. The significance of the victory extended far beyond the tennis court. For the Philippines, a country with no tennis tradition and limited resources, Eala's achievement was a moment of national pride that united the nation and inspired a generation of young athletes. This goes out to them. This goes out to my family. This goes out to all the little girls with ruffled socks and chubby cheeks. It means the world, Eala said in her on-court interview. The victory was not just a personal triumph, but a victory for the Philippines, and Eala had become a national hero. The statistics from Eala's victory over Swiatek were staggering, a testament to her dominance and her ability to rise to the occasion. She had 24 winners and only 21 unforced errors, while Swiatek's aggressive approach yielded 32 winners, but also a staggering 44 unforced errors. Eala converted 5 of her 7 break-point opportunities and saved 8 of the 11 break-points she faced. She also had 4 aces and 0 double faults, a remarkable stat for such a high-pressure match. Eala won a total of 92 points to Swiatek's 78, a healthy gap built mainly on superior service points and crucial break-point saves. The numbers told a story of a player who had done the impossible, a player who had faced the defending champion and had not only survived but thrived. Eala's victory was also a testament to her mental strength. The pressure that I have to manage is the pressure of not letting myself down, she had said earlier in the year. If I'm able to face that head-on, then I'm able to face anything. She had faced the biggest moment of her career, and she had risen to the occasion. The victory was not just a win, it was a statement. Eala had arrived, and she was here to stay. But the victory also came with a cost. Eala had spent 2 hours and 34 minutes on court, expending enormous physical and mental energy. The emotional celebration after the victory was understandable, but moments after savoring the victory, Eala's mindset quickly shifted from celebration to ambition. This is everything, but this doesn't mean I'm satisfied, she said. So next round, let's go. Those words may best define the maturity that has fueled her extraordinary rise. For all the history she had already written, Eala knew the hardest part was yet to come. Standing in the way of Eala's historic run was Jasmine Paolini, the world number 17 and the runner-up at Wimbledon in 2024. Paolini was a formidable opponent, a player who had proven herself on the biggest stages and who had the experience and resilience to challenge the young Filipina. But Eala had a secret weapon. She had beaten Paolini before. In their previous meeting in Dubai earlier this year, Eala had stunned the Italian 6-1, 7-6, 5. That victory provided Eala with not only confidence, but also the belief that she possessed the weapons to conquer one of the world's elite once again. Paolini, however, was not underestimating her opponent. I saw a little bit of the last game, she said, referring to Eala's victory over Swiatek. I think the game of Eala fits very well to grass. She showed a great level also in Berlin. I think she's a very dangerous player here. Paolini had experienced Eala's firepower in Dubai and expected another stern challenge. It's going to be a tough one because she's playing great. She has a huge crowd with her. On the bridge they were screaming, "Alex, Alex." It's so good for our sport to involve more people around the world. The crowd was a factor that could not be ignored. Hundreds of Filipino fans had traveled to London to support their national hero, creating an atmosphere that was electric and unforgettable. I think the atmosphere today was amazing. It was electric, respectful, and all that I could have hoped for, Eala had said after her previous matches. It's extremely hard to get tickets here at Wimbledon, so I'm very happy with the support. The support from the Filipino community was a driving force behind Eala's success, and it would be with her every step of the way. Paolini acknowledged the challenge, saying, "The crowd is going to be there every point. But that's sport. I really enjoy playing in those kinds of situations, and hopefully many Italians will be there as well." The match against Paolini was the biggest of Eala's career, a do-or-die battle for a place in the Wimbledon quarterfinals. It was a match that would define her career, a chance to prove that her run was not a fluke and that she had the mental fortitude to handle the pressure of the biggest stage. The first set was a struggle. Paolini, with her experience and her consistency, took the set 6-4. Eala, perhaps still feeling the effects of her marathon against Swiatek, was struggling to find her rhythm. But Eala, who has always been defined by her refusal to give up, fought back in the second set, winning it 6-4 to force a deciding set. The final set was a roller coaster of emotions. Both players gave everything they had, and the momentum swung back and forth like a pendulum. At 3-3, the match was hanging in the balance. Every point felt like a lifetime, and the tension was palpable. Eala, however, refused to give in. She had faced the defending champion on center court and had won. She had faced the pressure of a nation and had thrived. She had the belief that she could do anything. The match ultimately ended with a 6-4, 4-6, 3-6 loss for Eala, a result that was heartbreaking but also a testament to her fighting spirit. In the end, it was Paolini's experience that proved decisive. The Italian, a former Wimbledon finalist, had been here before and knew exactly what it took to win. But Eala had nothing to be ashamed of. She had fought until the very end, refusing to give up even when the odds were against her. "I gave everything that I could, did everything that I could do, so I'm proud of that. I have to be proud of what I've achieved this week. I'm leaving with positive thoughts," Eala said after the match. It was a mature and thoughtful reflection from a young player who was still learning and growing. Eala's Wimbledon run was over, but its impact would be felt for years to come. She had become the first Filipino to reach the second week of a Grand Slam. She had defeated the defending champion, and she had captured the hearts of millions. Her ranking rose to a career-high number 28, and she had earned the biggest purse of her young career. But more importantly, she had proven that she could handle the pressure, that she could compete with the best players in the world, and that she had the mental fortitude to achieve greatness. "I gave everything that I could. I did everything that I could do, so I'm proud of that," Eala said after the match. "There are so many positives. One is how I've handled pressure. Of course, the more you want to win, the pressure comes with that. I'm happy I faced it head-on. I kept cool when I needed to, controlled my emotions, and performed the best that I could that day." Eala had faced the biggest moment of her career, and she had not been found wanting. She had shown courage, resilience, and a fighting spirit that had inspired millions. The legacy of Eala's Wimbledon run extends far beyond the tennis court. She has shown that with hard work, determination, and the unwavering support of family and fans, anything is possible. Her journey has inspired a generation of young Filipinos to dream big, and she has proven that the Philippines can produce world-class tennis players. "I think being from the Philippines is a huge part of my identity," she said. "I am a firm believer that where you come from is a big part of who you are." Eala's Wimbledon run was a celebration of national pride, a testament to the indomitable Filipino spirit, and a sign that the future of Philippine tennis is bright. Eala's Wimbledon run may be over, but her journey is just beginning. She has established herself as one of the most exciting young players on the WTA Tour, a player who can compete with the best and who has the potential to achieve greatness. Her next challenge is the North American hard court swing, culminating in the U.S. Open, where she will be seeded for the first time in her career. "I don't have a specific round in the U.S. Open that I say, oh, kailangan kong abutin ito. The way I approach tournaments, I'm match by match, round by round," she said. It is a mentality that has served her well so far, and it is a philosophy that suggests the biggest milestones may still lie ahead. Eala's rise has been nothing short of remarkable. She has gone from being a relatively unknown player to a global superstar in just a few years. Her victories have been celebrated by millions. Her journey has inspired a nation, and her potential is limitless. How many times have I dreamed of opportunities like this? Eala reflected during her Wimbledon run. When I have my opportunities, I have to take it. They're blessings. Being here is a blessing. I worked super hard just to get here, and I'm taking it. If I have the chance, I'm taking it. That mindset has carried her this far, and it will carry her further. The world of tennis has a new star, and her name is Alexandra Eala. She has shown the world that she can handle the pressure, that she can compete with the best, and that she has the heart of a champion. Her Wimbledon run was just the beginning. The future is bright for the Filipina tennis sensation, and the world will be watching every step of the way. As she herself said, "I carry the flag with me wherever I go." And she will carry it with pride, with determination, and with the unwavering belief that anything is possible. The dream belongs to Eala. But with every victory she earns, it also belongs to more than 100 million Filipinos who dare to dream with her.